Mr. Jason Roy, the founder of Building 429, and now just dad to Haven.
Yeah, now, as you said, a classic.
Yeah, I know. And it is kind of weird, though. Like, you've had this great career in Christian radio, and then Betty Rock came across this thing that your daughter is on American Idol, and she's doing really well, you know, which has got to be cool. Like, so you got to go there and play guitar for her. And I want people that haven't heard this yet to hear a little bit of it, because it's really great.
15, they say you've got time. 15, they try to change your mind. But what if I want it now? What if I don't want to wait? What if I don't want to waste my time waiting on someday?
So good, man. As a dad, this has to just get you.
When the guitar playing is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, because you were there playing with her. I mean, you were there in that moment with her. Like, did you encourage her to audition for American Idol?
No, I never. No,
not your plan.
No.
Okay, why not? Why not?
I don't. Because in the beginning, when American Idol first came on, all of us who scratched and clawed through the clubs and through the. We didn't like those people.
Right,
like,
right.
I don't know. Like, I'm supposed to love Jesus and being a Christian artist, but yeah, it's it's kind of like it was a shortcut.
You didn't pay your dues.
Yeah, exactly. It was a shortcut, and so like my daughter, I already know who she is, and I already know her. I already know. Like, right. It's not like I need a judge to tell me who she's going to end up being. Like, she's a better singer than I ever was, and a better writer than I ever was, and she's 17. Right, so I already know those things, and for me, American Idol is like, yeah, it's a TV show, man. Like,
right.
Cool, awesome.
It's not real music.
Yeah, you know how.
I get you, man. I get you.
Which is terrible, because it's just it's not as accurate as I maybe thought it was.
Right.
Like in literal terms, we would be on the road, and there would be like an American Idol contestant who would come out on the road, and we'd be playing a festival, and they'd be playing the show with us, and like, back in the old days, not just my band or everybody, we'd be like, I wonder how long that's going to last, because, it's not a sweet studio out here. Like, out here, it's show after show after show. It's voice hurt, sickness, getting on planes, trains, air. It's that thing. And through the years, as we've seen, there have been a few that have done really well, but most, if we're being honest, kind of disappear into oblivion.
I was a huge fan of Taylor Hicks. What happened?
Soul Patrol! Soul Patrol! Yeah. Where is Soul Patrol?
And he went straight to the Ryman. I saw him at the Ryman Auditorium.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't
Soul
heard from him
Patrol.
since.
Now he's like patrolling crosswalks or something. he's a crossing guard. Soul Patrol! Come on by, kids.
Anyway, so all that to say, when she says, "Hey, Dad," somebody's like, "I got this message on Instagram. It's kind of weird." And I'm like, number one, I'm like, all right, delete it. But then she's like, no, they say it's American Idol. I'm like, that's not real. Just forget it. And she's like, yeah, you're right. It's not real. And she forgot it. And then one after another, they just started coming more and more in. And then eventually she looks at me and she goes, they're saying we could do like I could do an audition. And I'm like, are you, I'd rather you, maybe not.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I mean, what's it going to hurt? It's an audition. We'll go sing a song or two, and they'll say no, and we'll move on. That's what'll happen. And I was like, all right, whatever. As long as you understand that what those people say has nothing to do with your values.
See, but that's
a
a good point, because your daughter's setting herself up in this industry for criticism and critique.
Yes.
Because you know all about that, And so as a dad, that has to make you nervous for her, because people online can be some of the worst people on the planet.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible, especially to a young, and then take off Christian artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that out, and now go 17-year-old beautiful girl.
Right.
Like, what are they going to say to her?
So are you telling her not to look at the socials? Are you trying to balance that out with her?
I kind of control that as best as I can, but it's out of hand now, kind of. So we had to turn notifications and all that kind of stuff off, because it was like literally. In fact, I was at dinner. I said, "Watch this," and I flipped on notifications on her Instagram. And every 30 seconds, it dinged.
Oh my goodness.
Really?
For an hour and a half of just people. But the cool thing is, okay, so we get to the point. She finally said, "Dad, let's do it." And we went and did she did an audition. She asked me to play guitar, made me feel really happy. I was excited about that.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a compromise.
No,
You're like,
no.
you can go, but I'm going with you.
No. She asked me to. And so we did our quick little audition, and they were like, "Oh, we need to put you in front of the judges." And so they flew her out to Las Vegas.
Nice.
And then she did what you just heard.
Well, yeah, and then the judges freaked out.
What if it's all a game and nothing's ever gonna change? What if I want it now? You can have it.
You can have it. You can have it right now.
You can have it right now.
I mean, Katie's like all that. But I mean, as a
Yeah.
dad, that's got to make you feel great in that moment.
Yeah, because you're in your head going in on what of all the scenarios, what is the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And what is the best that can happen? And like what I had in my head as the best that can happen was, well, good job.
Right.
Well, that you did really well, and we like you.
Yeah.
Like that's what I thought the best was going to. So when now that I'm a meme, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah, because don't forget, I have this too.
Oh,
you
I'm
crying.
sure you do.
Dad, are you okay?
Yeah, of course.
You're not.
Dad, there's reason to cry.
Yeah.
You know what, dude? I saw that and I was so happy for you and happy for her, and
Yeah.
and I know we give each other guys a hard time about crying. I thought it was so good and so cool, man. It was it shows you love your girl and you're so proud of her. That's great,
Dude, and the pressure she was under, people don't know this, it wasn't in order on the show. The person that went right before her was a guy named Tyson, who is a stud.
Yeah.
And got the platinum ticket, and they had a party right in front of her.
Oh, wow.
I mean, in front of her, and then and literally, Tyson runs off into the sunset with his platinum ticket, and Ryan Seacrest turns around with the microphone and is like, "Hey, how do you feel?" I bet that adds a little pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So he wasn't mean, but he was
Right.
kind of played that like he's supposed to.
Right.
He's supposed to create drama.
But
And
she rose to the occasion,
she rose,
man.
She rose, and that's what it was too. Because I think the first little bit she was nervous. I could hear it in her voice. If you watched it, you're like, oh, a couple of things.
And who wouldn't be?
But finally, by the end, that last note that she sang was kind of like her shifting it into a different gear and being like, they're going to remember me, dadgummit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just made me so proud, man. I was just blown away.
I have to tell you, I was super proud of you for letting your emotions come out, but then also not plugging your band. I thought that was good. You're like, hey, I'm Jason from Building 429. I can sign some stuff for you.
Wear a band T-shirt.
Yes. Wear your own shirt.
Dude, it's so funny because not my manager is awesome, but he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, really. It's her. But I got two texts that meant the most to me, and those two texts were from two people that have been in the industry for many, many years, and they were like, well done, Dad.
Yeah.
And most of the texts were like, wow, that was so awesome. Your daughter killed it. And, and I just felt like, I've had plenty of chances to be in, to be in the light through the years. This was her moment, and I didn't even want to do it. So how am I supposed to stand in there and take credit? It's like, hey, this is all her. And again, the only thing I had to do was not screw up the thing that I've been doing for 35 years. It's like play the guitar decent, bro.
Your hands just stop working.
Seriously, man.
I would have to say that's probably the most nervous you've been to play in a while.
Since award show season,
Yeah.
I've never been that nervous because I was like, you have one job. It's like singing at a wedding. No one should ever sing at a wedding because there's only one way you're remembered if you screw up. That's how, and so that's what it was. It was like literally as we got ready to start, it was like, Jason, don't mess up your daughter's opportunity.
It's like if there was a ravine and your daughter's on the other side and someone's gonna throw her to you, you have one job and that's catch her.
That's it.
And you're gonna be so nervous. That's gonna be the best catch you've ever made. You know, or not. And and you made it.
Right.
Who would you say was the most nervous, you or your daughter?
I got to be honest, she handled herself like a pro. And of course, I know how to be nervous but not show it.
Sure.
So I was pretty nervous because, there were so many things running through my head. For her, I think her job was to sing the song well, present herself well. But for me, I was like, big picture ramifications, again, very important. When I started my career, if I had a bad night, it was in front of 30 people and I got to do it again the next night.
Right. Yeah.
She starts her career and her first big performance is in front of 7 million people.
I know, it's so crazy. It's not fair, right? I mean, you're a little mad, right?
Oh, yes, but also, man, let's be honest. There's no way I would. No, the fact that she even had the guts to go, I'm going to do this. Wow.
I respect it. It's not easy to do. Now, as she's performing, okay, you've done this for a long time and you know what it's like to have the crowd with you and have them in your hand. Was there a point at which you realized she's got them in her hand? Did that happen for you, or was it just play, get through it, and at the end see what happens?
I felt like she had. We got to the bridge, and I don't know where I'm going. That I'm not sure where this ends, but even when the storms are coming, that when she sang that, I'm gonna stand against the wind. I looked up, and Katy Perry was just like locked, and I was like, okay, I don't know if she's gonna make it, but she's got her.
The thing I like about American Idol is I do like watching people have a dream come true. Like, I really do, because as a frustrated, horrible musician, when you see it work for someone, you're like, oh my gosh, they made my dream. You know? And so I feel for them, and like, so for your daughter, it was great. One question: why is she not using your last name?
Yeah, why do you have to ask that question on air?
I don't know. I'm just curious. Haven Madison. Like, is that her middle name?
It has a ring to it, doesn't it?
It does. It's good.
It just got it. Yeah, she decided that a long time ago, partially because again, she wants to make her own way.
Yeah,
that's right. She's an independent woman.
Yeah, she don't need no dad.
Right.
She don't need this mess.
Well, my daughter hit me up because my daughter's like in musical theater, and she's like, "Hey, what do you think about the name Haley Houston? Because Houston's her middle name."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "For what?" And she's like, "No, it's my like professional
Stage
name."
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's not your real name. I'd like it. I gave it to you, but I'd like a little more."
Well,
like,
just wait. We had a party at my house recently where a kid told me, "Thank you so much for having me over. Have a great night, Mr. Madison."
That's so good.
For real.
That's so good.
I'm not joking. That happened.
You are just the dad.
But you know what? I'll tell you, as another dad, like, I want my daughter to succeed, and like, I would give anything for her to reach her dream.
100%.
And so I would give up any of my stuff, for her to have it, know. And so, and I get that. So she's still going on American Idol, which is good. I know you can't tell like other things, about the show, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But what advice have you given her, and not just as dad? Like, have you given her dad advice and then like professional manager advice, kind of thing?
Yeah, a little of both.
Yeah.
I have to be careful though, because I have to stay in dad mode most of the time.
Sure.
But dad advice is you be you. Don't change anything about who you are. Like even the clothes that she's wearing, that's her, she's choosing that. She doesn't have a stylist. It's just her. The way she speaks to them, I'm always like, do not be afraid. They're human beings. Like you be you. You talk to them like you would talk to any other person, and so she's doing that well. I mean, right now we're in the middle of talking about her performances as well. I mean, we have a studio where we work, and then also we have friends who have like dance studios. But ultimately, again, it's so very important that she knows that like no matter what she does, we feel like she's already won.
Right.
Hey, whatever you've done, stay true to who you are, and and have a great time. And then when this is over, trust me, there's many the phone's ringing,
right.
And so we'll take the next steps.
You'll have some options.
Then. Yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you coming on and talking about Haven, and so happy for both of you. Like, I'm really excited to see where it goes. Before you go, I would like you to audition for us, because you've always wanted to be a musician. I've always wanted to be a judge that critiques musicians.
Oh, you do that constantly.
Hang on, wait, I was going to say, you have always been that already.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it. And so I'm curious, if you were to go on American Idol, like now, knowing what you know, what song would you do?
I would probably rewrite 15.
Okay.
And from a dad's perspective.
Oh, I do like this.
Oh, wow.
That's what I think I would do.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't make it, but I would certainly try.
You know what? Have you put any thought to this?
A little bit.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's put him to the test. Let's see what this sounds like, all right? So, Jason, you were on American Idol with Betty Perry.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Betty Perry.
Nice.
Wally Bryan.
And
Gavin...
Ritchie.
Gavin Ritchie.
I like it, okay.
So you are going to take it away.
All right.
And you know what? And maybe you'll get the golden ticket. We don't know.
Maybe. Let's see.
So what are you
going to
do for...
I'm going to play an original song, if that's okay.
Oh, an original. That's a risky
move.
move.
Actually, you know what? It's a cover song now, but it was an original.
That's true.
But now, I wanted to play the father's version of the daughter's song.
Oh, I like where
this
you're going with this.
This should be emotional, I think.
I sure hope it is.
Because, if it's not, we might be in trouble.
Because her performance brought the room to tears, and so hopefully yours will bring it to tears, not jeers. So here we go.
Great. I feel the stress again. It's building back up in my hands.
So good.
Let's see if I got it. 15, she says she wants it now. 15, I say, girl, slow down. How did I get so old? Why is my hair so gray? I used to wear skinny jeans, but now she's thrown them all away. Yeah, how did I get so old? Now she thinks her dad is lame. Oh, she's taking on the world, but she don't even use my last name. How did I get so old?
Okay, I see where she gets her writing ability from. Dude, that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm giving you my golden ticket,
Yeah,
golden
yeah,
buzzer for sure.
Let's go.
That was wonderful.
I was all prepared to have some fun and rip you apart. That was masterfully written. That was a master class in writing a funny song, too, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Also,
Thank you.
I would love it if you took to heart some of the lyrics that he actually said, because you, sir, wear skinny
I
jeans.
still wear skinny jeans.
Every day.
Yeah.
And you're way too old. You're way too old for that.
There comes a moment in time, I've been told. I still try too, but every time I put them on, she's like, nope, nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope.
Yeah, I
Says
got a
it back
daughter
in.
too, and she's trying to hold me accountable.
Yes.
She's my skinny jean partner.
Right,
Accountability,
right.
you know.
You can wear her jeans almost, right?
Did you see, like, when you went there with your daughter to audition, do you see some kind of like the insecurities of the generation that she's from? Like, do you see these kids trying to make it and you think there's no way you're going to make it? But do you see like a lack of security of who you identify as or who you are as a person?
Man, I have to say that that number one, I've been shocked backstage at American Idol. There's more kids back there singing worship songs together than you would believe.
Really?
It's unbelievable. Like there's a God thing happening behind the scenes.
Well, and here's the reason I think that is, though, is because kids, when they're young, especially the younger they are, they don't have a lot of places to play.
That's right.
So what do? You play at church.
That's
I
right.
joined my youth group band
That's
and stuff
exactly
like that.
right.
And so there is that foundation in them. If you were doing American Idol and it was all 30-somethings, it'd be a different tone.
Yeah, it'd be
because
clubs.
you grew up in the clubs.
Yep,
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah. So, and interestingly, there's been very little, if any, scratching and clawing.
Wow.
Which again, these are all what you just said is what I thought. So that's why I was like, we're not doing that, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But along the way, it's been like just crazy to see how the first couple of days we were there. This is welcome to the American Idol family. I'm like, that's a load of junk. There's no family here.
Exactly.
Stop.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. No. But then you watch, and over time, like these kids end up getting to know everybody that's a part of the show, and they all end up being friends, and they're all for each other. And people are flying into Nashville to come and hang out with Haven. And so all I'm saying is, it's interesting that I haven't seen. I thought I would see a lot of extreme insecurity.
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe I got there later in the process and I'm like, wow, these people are pretty solid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, they're pretty solid. They're actually,
good.
these kids are pretty solid. And, they're nervous and they're worried and I'm sure that they have concerns. But I would also say, too, I've never been around more talented people in my life. Ever. I mean, it's crazy. It doesn't make sense how good they are.
And you think about it, too, back in the day, like when you were coming up, the only way you got noticed was if you were out playing shows.
Right.
And so you were playing wherever you could. Now kids sit in their bedroom, they do a song, and millions of people
Boom.
can view it, you know?
Boom.
And so
Yeah.
they are more savvy because they also have more technology and access to things, and then they can promote themselves. And so I think they're coming in more professional than like if you were their age now, like
Yeah.
doing it like back then it was different.
I didn't have instant access to every other singer in the world to hear how good they were
Right.
and what they were capable of. And if you think about it, if you're staring at LeBron James, right, and that's the bar, well, then you better get to work.
Right.
Right. And so I feel like what's happening with a lot of these incredibly talented singers is they can see everyone else that's singing
Oh, I see.
and they go, oh, shoot, I got to catch up. And they put the work in because ultimately, like, there's no way around it. You got to put the work in. In fact, one of the things that's not really allowed to be spoken in our house, and it is a key word that is used by this generation that drives me crazy. I've heard it a few times. I have heard this a few times backstage. It drives me crazy. But they're like, if she blows up, and I can't stand that because I don't think anybody blows up by accident. I mean, there may be a few that happens for, but generally when somebody quote unquote blows up, there's a team of people helping make that happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's someone who's been working their craft for a long time for that to happen. Now there are times when, the kid sings a song and it's like, bam.
Yeah.
But But, that's not allowed in our household. No, we're not going to blow up. We're going to work really hard and grow this thing.
Yeah.
That's the way we say it.
I like that.
But again, I've been shocked by how confident people are backstage. Still, my job when I'm there is 100% to just, and my daughter's job, one of the things I love the most about her is she posts about everybody's performances on her Instagram, TikTok, and on her Facebook.
Is she trashing them?
Yeah, she's telling this was awful.
I'm so proud of her.
Thank God that's the one thing we don't have in common. I'd be like, well, they're terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, just being honest.
Has she listened to your music, and what does she think about Building 429?
Yeah, she is quite the songwriter. So I still write. I've been writing a ton lately, and so she's always like, nope, nah, that's not it, Dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a few 100,000 albums that would disagree with you.
I know. Well, she says something. I don't know if she's ever worded it this way, but I've filtered it down to this statement, and I think the statement is this. She'll say, that is not worthy of the brand that you've created.
Oh, that's a nice way of saying
Through
that's
the
horrible.
like you got 20 years invested in this. Don't release that. It's not to the level that it should be.
Really? That's super psychological.
And dude, she wrote. I know, right? And she actually helped me write a song for Building a few years back. And, and so all that to say, she has a song that she has several songs. She's like, I'm going to recut that one day. I'm like, okay, cool, sure, sounds good. But, but so far she doesn't think it's terrible. I don't think, but I definitely, she's like, well, she can definitely tell there was an era that I was from. You know what I'm saying?
So great. Yeah.
like, oh, that's not exactly a pop melody there, Dad.
Yeah, well, that's so great.
I'm glad it's singable, but
have you talked to her yet? Have you given her the speech about what 20% for manager fee? Like, have you had that discussion yet?
Oh, yeah. 20% for my retirement fund.
Absolutely, yeah. You're like, hey, kid, I did a lot for you, and so I'm managing you now. This is 20%.
Man, it's funny.
Oh, yeah, and you got word for a third. You helped her on that song. Come on.
Did. Hey,
Yeah.
I've been on the publishing too.
Uh-huh.
No, I feel like my role is to I talk to her about what to expect. Because she's going to have a manager. She will have a manager. She'll have a label. She'll have a booking agent. She'll have all those things.
Right.
Those are coming. She'll have a publishing deal, all that stuff. In terms of my involvement in those things, like, I'm dad, man. I need to be dad. And the cool thing is that I have a lot of experience in all areas, So no,
one that you
I'm
can put a percentage on?
I have not. No. I'm not. We're not going to make a Miley Cyrus or a.
Billy Ray.
And we're not going to be a Britney Spears for sure.
Those are the ones that are sad. Honestly, you watched it just get totally off track.
Yeah.
And then you see Taylor Swift, which I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift's music, but she came out through all of that a little more unscathed because it was probably a better balanced home life for her that gave her that platform to accomplish what she did.
And as a dad, I have to be. She's 17. She'll be 18 next year, and out into the world, and she's gonna want to go live her life. And the thought that she's gonna wake up every morning and I'm gonna be sitting there on the bus, asking, well, what did you do last night?
Right.
At a certain point, she's going to be an adult, and she's going to have to make her, and train up a child in the way that they should go. Right.
Yep.
Like, I have to trust that I've done that. And so, and yet at the same time, I just feel like it's very important that she knows I'm a support system, and when things fall apart, she can come talk to me and to Courtney, and we'll be there for her. And hey, if she wants help with a song, I do that. But if she doesn't, I don't do that. That's really the place that I have to live in. So far, she's come to me with everything because who else was she going to go to?
Right.
But I know full well she's supposed to go to L.A. She's supposed to go to New York. She's supposed to be working in Nashville and Atlanta. I'm not her producer forever.
Right.
I'm her producer while she's a teenager living at home, and then eventually she's going to sprout wings and she's going to fly, and then my job is go get them, babe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. We appreciate you taking the time and being on the show and on the podcast with us, and it'll be fun to watch her career, just kind of blossom from here too. So there you go.
Yeah,
Jason
man.
Roy,
Thank you,
everybody.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Go Haven.